Hello everybody, happy Tuesday, hope you're doing very well. And now with the football season quite nicely underway, of course that means we need an international break for the top few tiers, I thought it might be interesting during this time to review the home shirts for all the teams that play in the top four tiers, so Premier League, Championship, League One and League Two, and just see where they stand purely from a design point of view. Now I'm going to put aside any biases that I definitely have and try and rank them fairly. Now let's be honest, there's probably only going to be 10 or so shirts that are well designed and maybe 10 or so shirts that are poorly designed. Everybody else mainly is going to be in the middle. So if you find your club, say, 50th, they probably could have been 25th. And of course, this is just one man's opinion. So let's see where they lay. In 92nd, in the bottom spot, I've gone with Swindon. And the reason why I've gone with Swindon is just, it's so boring. It's just a boring Adidas template. It's fine, but it's not really inspiring. I think they could do better than that. I'm sure Swindon have done better than that over the years, but yeah, maybe they should have done a little bit better. But of course, if I review the away and third shirts, they may change their position. Now we have Salford in 91st, and this one again is another Adidas shirt. It's a little bit cleaner. The sponsors, I don't know it's about this one. I think the sponsors are going to have an effect on some of these ratings. I think it's partly just because of the there's oversaturation of the use of this sort of template here. It's just something about it I'm just not a huge fan of. Now we have MK Dons in 90th. This one, to be honest, it's the sort of stitching detailing that runs down the shoulders and the sleeves. I've got quite a few of the older shirts, the sort of shirts that are from like mid-2000s, 2010s. And yeah, I've never really been a fan of that particular sort of styling. So if they didn't even have that, this shirt would have been much higher up on the list. Now we have Leyton Orient. This is another shirt that doesn't do anything for me, just two random white stripes running down either side. I mean, the logos are kind of central, but they're not perfect. I think that it certainly could do better, and Leyton Orient usually do better. Then we have Barrow. I feel like this shirt could have been higher, but there's something about the graphic that it just doesn't quite sit well. I think maybe because it kind of runs under some of the sponsors and the logos, and I think they're a bit haphazardly positioned. I don't know of a way they could have done it, maybe just fewer of them, but yeah, maybe it's better in person. Then we've got Stockport County, another really simple one here. Puma have got some decent stuff going on the cuffs and a little bit on the neck there. Not really sure about the white little trims on the sides, but it's pretty plain. And then this is Birmingham. Another plain shirt. It's a Nike shirt. It's fine, but I really dislike that sponsor, so it's yeah, that's probably the reason why it's further down. And we have Middlesbrough. It's okay. It's just a simple shirt. I think this one's probably further down when you see it compared to their away shirt and how nice that one is. So, you know, maybe a bit of balancing going on. And then in 84th we have Pompey with their home shirt. I feel like the home shirts are, for a while now, have been pretty, yeah, just basic and standard in this one. They've got some little pinstripes going on, but for me, it's not that exciting. Then we have Wigan Athletic. I think it's the centralised stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the central stuff. It can work, but this one I think it looks like the sponsor's like a block sponsor transfer. I don't know. I think they can do better. They can certainly do better. Then we have Bromley. We have Macron here, who usually do quite good stuff. It's just quite a simple one. It's got some nice little trims running around the collar and on the cuffs, but it's yeah, it's nothing jumping out to me in that one. And then we have Exeter City, which I believe this is a continuation of last season's home shirt, so well played for that, but you know, it's nothing to do with the design. Again, another simple Adidas shirt with some stripes going on there. And then we have Chesterfield back in the Football League. Puma shirt, and it's fine. You've got some nice little detailing, sort of stripes there, and it looks like the club logo going across. It's a nice way of doing it, but yeah, for me, it's maybe wanted a little bit something on the cuffs or on the collar. And then we have Cheltenham Town, and this one is, I mean, it's another. There's a lot of red and white striped shirts in sort of the Football League and the Premier League, and this one is just seemingly another one of those. This one, I was struggling to put this on the list somewhere because I feel like it could be higher, like quite a good amount higher, but it also could be really lower. I think the design's interesting. The sponsor kind of ruins it. It's too much. The sponsor's too much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say, really. Accrington Stanley in 77th. This one, I think maybe because the images are difficult to find some good ones, there's definitely something going on there design-wise. I think it's got the people on the graphic. It's fine, but yeah, sometimes it's a little too subtle. And we have Walsall, 76th. This one's, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, the Poundland sponsor, it doesn't really do anything for me, but it's okay. Then we have Fleetwood Town. We're going to have a lot of Puma shirts in this one. We've got a little bit of interesting design as it sort of kind of reminds me of the St. Gallen shirt. I think it's pretty much the same template, apart from this colour scheme is not as favourable for me personally. But at least the sponsor fits nicely in the centre of it. Then we have Swansea City, Joma manufactured. It looks like a pretty simple design with the white. Got some cool little colours on the cuffs and the collar. But yeah, it's just a pretty standard shirt. And then we have Southampton, another red and white striped one. You've got the sponsor on front, which is quite in your face. But yeah, I think it's fine. It's a fine shirt. Then we have Barnsley. I think probably better than last season's shirts that were kind of very Marmite. This one's a little bit more subtle. You've got the red, of course, and then you've got the sort of the stars across the sort of chest area. It's fine. And we have Gillingham with their sort of home shirt. It's a Macron shirt. Again, it's just sort of blue and white. You've got the blue body and the white along the sleeves. And we have Mansfield Town with Castor, another yellow one. It's not too many clubs that play yellow or orangey or amber, whatever they want to describe it as. But it's just got your stripes, and then you've got a bit of blue on the collar. Would you want it on the sleeves as well? Don't know. Then we have Top Spurs. I mean, I feel like their shirts just are not that different from season to season, which I appreciate for home shirt. You know, you maybe don't want to deviate too much. But for me, it's the colour scheme. I'm never a huge fan of sort of the darker shades of blue, the sort of navies. But it's fine. This one is, I mean, you don't have too many tangerine sort of orange shirts either going around, so that's pretty cool. You've got an interesting stuff on the collars, a little bit on the collar, and then on the cuff. Sorry, a little bit going down the side. So they put a bit of effort into it. So that's pretty smart. And we have Burton Albion, who are with Tag still, the longest ongoing partnership between a club and a manufacturer. This one's quite smart. I quite like how the sponsor is separated from the pinstripes. I can't quite truly tell if it is a sort of transfer, like a block one onto it. May well be, which might drop it down a little bit. But yellow and black it works. Then we have Norwich. I feel like yellow and green works really well for me personally. I think this one, I think they maybe could have done a little bit more with it. I can see that they've got sort of like a checkered ball, which is a bit wavy, sort of going down. It's interesting, but I don't know. Doesn't do much for me this season. Colchester, another Macron shirt. Again, it's fine, blue and white with stripes. But this time we've got sort of three main ones, and then sort of thinner one down the sides. It's okay. Leicester. Pretty clean shirt, to be honest. Adidas, you got a little bit of orangey sort of gold on the collar. And other than that, it's pretty standard. But, you know, I suppose it kind of reminds you a little bit of the one that they wore when they won the Premier League. Now we have Brentford again. I think they're another team that would carry across their shirts for 2 seasons. Umbro shirt, I think it's the red and white with the black. So overused, and the fading at the bottom. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it's still fine. Cardiff City, this is an interesting one. It's got a chevron on, which you don't have too many chevrons in sort of English or Welsh football, I suppose. New Balance, again, not many of those floating around. I think it's quite cool. I like the little 125-year at the bottom there. So, yeah, it's a decent shirt, that is. They have Luton, another club that's decided to carry their shirt across. It was the sort of best-selling shirt ever, I think they said it was, which is not surprising considering, of course, they were in the Premier League. It's an interesting colour scheme, again, that you don't see too often, but I feel like the design maybe could have just been a little bit different. Nottingham Forest. This one's another clean shirt, but sometimes with Nottingham Forest clubs like this, it's easy to just stick to what they are best at doing, and that is sort of red and white. Yeah, so it's okay. A little bit of a subtle design in the background, but it's okay. In 59th, we have Brighton here. A lot of stripes going on there. You've got your main stripes, and you've got stripes within stripes, and it's blue and white, and they've had some cool stuff. I can see what they're going with, and it's probably quite nice in person. There's nothing wrong with this shirt, but yeah, it's just standard. And it's kind of the similar sort of thing, just flipped really. You've got more blue and white stripes, horizontal this time. I like it. It's got the different shades between each sort of section. You've got different darknesses, so that's cool. Then we have Wolverhampton in 57th with Sudu as the manufacturer. I don't really know anything about them, never seen them before, so I couldn't quite tell you. The design looks okay. It's just the fact that there's the manufacturer's there, and then the club crest is in the centre. Either do it all centralised or just move that so it's equal. That's my own personal thing. Newport County, this is just a better version of that colour scheme, I would say. I really like this VX3, and even though I don't think I've ever seen any of their shirts in person, they do some pretty good stuff, so that's well put together. Now we have Northampton Town in 55th. This one's pretty cool. It's pretty clean. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Man City shirt, which you will see coming up. It's just the fact that I'm not a huge fan of this particular colour personally, so that's why it's a little bit further down. Then we have Wycombe Wanderers again. I think this is a club that's carried it across from last season. Again, you don't have too many sort of quartered shirts. And then for me personally, the sponsor is actually a competitor for the business that I work in my actual job. So yeah, I can't be seeing promoting this one too much. Newcastle United in 53rd. There's something about black and white striped shirts that don't necessarily excite me all that much. I just think they all look very similar. Of course, with Adidas here, it's fine, but yeah, it doesn't do much for me. And then we have Charlton. This one's okay. Castor, I just think it's quite nice, this design going in the front. It's quite subtle the way it looks. But again, you know, it's just a standard shirt. We have Bolton Wanderers. This is one of the ones where it is centralised and it actually works quite nicely. You know, you've got the Macron and the Bolton and the Victorian plumbing, and you've got a little bit on the cuffs. I like how it's different from the cuffs to the on the collar. That's a nice little bit of detailing, so that's okay. And we have Doncaster Rovers. This is in 50th, so Oxon is the manufacturer. There's a few of those floating around, and I quite like how all of the sort of the pin stripes that are sort of either side of the main horizontal stripes all line through, because sometimes you'll see them that they don't really line through from sleeve to the body. So that's a cool effort from them. West Ham home shirt. I think it's pretty simple, this one. They've certainly had better home shirts. They've probably had worse home shirts. West Ham fans, obviously they'll have their own opinions on it, but for me it's just pretty sort of straight down the middle for them. In 48th we've got Oxford. I mean, this one is very yellow, isn't it? It's an interesting design. I'm trying to figure out where I've seen this one before. I'm sure I've seen another Macron shirt with that design going on, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Then we have Hull with Kappa, and you know what, Kappa maybe my favourite manufacturer right now, so I really expect them to do a lot, and it's quite an interesting colour scheme that Hull have here going on, but I don't know, it's fine, but maybe I was expecting to do a little bit more from them. Then we have Cambridge United. Cambridge, well, I mean, maybe have the best three shirts that have been released this season. This is the weakest of the three of theirs, but it's still nice. Umbro good, always good with the sort of detailing on the cuffs on the collar, and it's just, yeah, just nicely put together. Then we have Burnley with Castor. This one's interesting. You've got some obviously the detailing with regards to the main body of the shirt, and then you've got obviously the different coloured sleeves there. It's totally fine. It's yeah, it's decent. Then we have Notts County. This one, I don't know, I think it's the centralised logo. I mean, the sponsor, I'm not a huge fan of it just being sort of bold right in there with the red, but I think it's the way that they've sort of faded a little bit going up. It's a mixture. It's a slightly better way of doing a black and white striped shirt, I'd say. And we have Aston Villa. This is a pretty simple shirt, but you know, welcome to the Champions League. You get some nice, simple Adidas stuff. I've actually seen this shirt in person, and it looks okay. It looks okay. Not quite sure about the collar detailing at the front there with it being separate. Is that a good or bad thing? I'm not sure right now. Then we have Man United. Not welcome to the Champions League, but also with Adidas. It's a fine shirt, but it just looks like just another Manchester United shirt in my opinion. Man United fans will think it's probably okay. Sponsor certainly looks better, But yeah, just straight down the middle. And we have Crawley Town, another red shirt, but I think this one just because it's got some interesting stuff going on with like, I think like arrows or something sort of going around the body of the shirt, Araya manufactured. So they just put a little bit more effort into it, I'd say. And we have another red one. This is 40th, and it's Crew Alexandra. This is an FBT shirt, which I've got a few of their sort of tie shirts, which I don't know if they're going to be using the same sort of materials, because tie shirts have to be a little bit cheaper because obviously the availability of extra money for tie supporters is well, should be sort of less than crew fans, but I just like it. It's like a interesting geometric pattern. Liverpool home shirt 39. Some people would think this is too low, some people think this is too high. It's definitely one of those shirts where you don't truly know what to say. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting design. Is it amazing? No. Is it terrible? Personally, I don't think so. I quite like the yellow. I like yellow on shirts, so I think this is a fair place for it to sit, sort of almost, you know, just above middle. Then we've got Harrogate Town. As mentioned, I like yellow shirts. This is a cool shirt. I like it. New Balance, and then it's sort of broken up with sort of this interesting sort of graphic in the middle with sort of the grey and the black. I think that's a smart shirt. I genuinely do. Ipswich are their home shirt, and they're welcome to the back to the Premier League. You've got the Umbro, you've got simple pinstripes running down, you've got the crest with sort of the border around it. It's just nice. It's a nice shirt. Morecambe with the Terrace sponsor manufacturer. I don't know if that's an in-house thing or just a new brand. Never seen those before. I think it looks really good. Well put together. Love the detailing on the trims there. Sponsor looks nice. It looks like it's. I've never heard of them before, but they look interesting. So yeah, that's a nice shirt, that is. And then another red and white shirt. We've got Bristol City. This one's an O'Neill shirt. I think the only O'Neill's one in playing in England, I think it is. Yes. And then we've got the sort of the, I don't know, like a diamond checkerboard on the trims. Very, very cool. I think this is a nice shirt. And then we have another Oxen shirt. This time it's Lincoln. And I don't know, there's something about this that I quite like. I can't put my finger on it. I also don't know if the pinstripes, it would be better with or without the pinstripes. I think it has to have them anyway because it's Lincoln. But I don't know, something just draws me to this one. I think maybe because the pinstripes, at least, they don't go straight through the sponsor. They're sort of separated, and it's not just obviously separated. They'll go straight up to the line. I like the small things like that. Everton home shirt, another Custor shirt. It's nice, it's clean. You've got the sort of the collar detailing, and then you've got this sort of the pattern on the main body. I mean, the sponsor is not amazing, but it's just, at least it looks okay aesthetically. So yeah, I think that's fair. Then we have Rotherham United, another Puma shirt. In essence, it's a pretty simple shirt, but I just like the sort of the crosses on the sort of collars and on the sleeves there. So, you know, fair play to them. Then we have Wrexham, of course, with sort of like a dragon scale themed body. It's nice. It probably looks quite well in person. Probably like an embossed detailing. So yeah, no, that's fair play to them. Then we have Stoke, another one of those Macron centralised one. I think this one just looks a little bit better. I think the black just looks really good against the sort of the white and then the red. Very, very well put together, this shirt. Then we have Bournemouth. This was one of those shirts where I was looking at it and thinking, this one could be really, really high on the list, or it might actually be quite low. There's something weird about it. I love gold on shirts, but I feel like there's something missing. And the sponsor's interesting combination of characters and letters there. So yeah, I think I'm happy with it being 29th. In 28th, we've got Bristol Rovers. You've got another one of those quartered shirts, and it looks like on this one you've got the detailing of, I presume that's going to be fan names that are inscribed in it. I love it when they do that. Macron are very good at sort of highlighting that sort of thing on shirts, so well put together. And here we are, we have Chelsea. As a Chelsea fan, obviously it's difficult for me to try and rank it truly fairly. And I think this is another one similar to the Liverpool shirt where some people will look at it and go, oh, that's quite interesting. They've tried doing something a little bit different there. And then some people will go, what's going through their minds? Like, that's terrible, that is. And I've kind of, I don't know, gone on both sides as I've seen it, and I've seen it in person. And I'll be honest, the graphic on the shirt doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look like it's been transferred perfectly. It's a bit blurry. But I can see what they're trying to do something. And maybe in reality this should be a little bit further down the list. My Chelsea bias just cannot be held back. But that's where I'm putting it. And who knows, with a sponsor, if it's going to be someone different, it might look better because it's covering up more of the shirt. West Brom, this is a beautiful shirt. This is a beautiful, beautiful shirt. Macron again, it's just simple. I love the colour scheme. I love the sort of the little collar detailing where it's like just half and another half, and it's on the. Yeah, this is an amazing shirt. We're starting to get to shirts now that are just clean, well put together. It's a Preston North End home shirt. It's not often I've been a fan of a Preston shirt. A lot of the time, especially when they were with Nike, they were very simple, just almost they're all templates. But this one's good. It's white. You've got the sort of the detailing. That's a subtle sash going across the front. Don't see many sash shirts in England on home shirts. And I love the collar. I mean the cuffs, but it's got little stripes going through it. I like how it's been intersected. That's a smart way of doing it. I like that. Then we have Sunderland home shirt, a Hummel shirt. Again, we don't have too many Hummel in English football right now. At least not off the top of my head. And I love this. I love the detailing that's running down the sort of the shoulders and down in between each stripe. And then you've got the detailing on the inside of the collar there. I know this one's done very well with Sunderland fans. Yeah, it's just a well put together shirt. And we've Huddersfield Town. This is an interesting way of doing blue and white stripes. You've got sort of two thick stripes, but intersected with really subtle. I think they're triangles going down there. Very, very cool. Interesting. They've definitely put some time and thought into it. Then we have AFC Wimbledon. This is just a really smart shirt. Umbro again. Yellow and blue works well together. Again, it's like another striped one, but you can't really almost see it's a striped one. You've got the sort of the Umbro diamond, which is almost turned into zigzags as well. Yeah, it's just nice. It's just a really nice shirt, and the War Child sponsor's just clean also. Then we have Sheffield Wednesday. Now, I don't know if they've actually got a sponsor at the moment, but to be honest, I think this shirt's really key. And if they can get a sponsor that looks smart and doesn't totally just destroy it, this is good. Another way of doing blue and white stripes, or any stripes, but this time in the blue they've got more zigzags. It's not the Umbro diamond zigzags, but I think that's a really, really smart shirt. Bradford City. So it's another Macron shirt, another one of those centralised ones. I actually work with a Bradford fan, and he's not too much of a fan of this shirt. But to be honest, I think it's pretty smart. Interesting way of doing the stripes again, but it's not obviously stripes. You've got sort of, it's almost like a paintbrush where it's just very rough around the edges. And then you've got the Bradford City sort of just initials embossed in the detailing. I think that's a smart shirt. In 19th, we have Reading, another Macron in here. You see Macron Slade taking over, and it's just, the reason is because of the detail they put into it. So you might just look at it and go, oh, it's just blue and white, but it's the embossed detailing in the sides. You've got the royal sort of crowns on there. It's just, yeah, it's a really, really smart shirt. And we have Grimsby Town. This one is, it's just a well put together one. You've got, this is black and white stripes. Of course, there's quite a bit of red going on there, but it just fits nicely. The sponsor is broken up really well. And then, yeah, I think that's a great little shirt they've got going on. 17th, Shrewsbury Town. So Oxon again, blue and yellow works really well together. You've got the detailing on the collars. I like a little buttoned collar. I do quite like that. Maybe the actual collar itself is, maybe looks like it might be a bit too big, but I think that's quite a smart shirt. Then we have Derby. This is in 16th, and in reality, it's pretty simple. It's white with some black, but I just love that detailing on the collar and on the cuffs. This is just, sometimes it's the plain ones that really jump out at you. It's not perfect, but yeah, from the image, it looks smart. We have Arsenal in 15th. Of course, that's not what's going to be happening in the Premier League, but I think this shirt's cool. It's fine. They've got some good shirts over the last sort of 3-4 years, and this one is good, but I think the home shirts, they've had a few that are a little bit better than this one. But yeah, I think if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be pleased. Then we have Sheffield United. This one, I think it's cool. I mean, to be honest, I don't think either Sheffield fan would be happy with this, but I think they're similar-ish in approach from Wednesday and United. I just think this one has a little bit more potential when it comes to once they have a sponsor on there, it could be great. You've got the sort of the nice detailing within the body of the shirt, and then it's just the yellow trim, just the extra bit of yellow on there, which pushes it up a little bit higher. In 13th, we have Peterborough United. Peterborough generally do some pretty smart stuff when it comes to their shirts, and this one I love the sort of the geographic graphic on the front. Really stands out. You've got the blue, different shades of blue, and then you've got this little bit of white which runs down the sides and a little bit on the front. So yep, very good. In 12th, we have Leeds. We've spoken about this Leeds shirt before. It's okay, you know, it's the Red Bull stuff. I mean, like most people think it's terrible with regards to Red Bull, but it's a Leeds shirt. You know, these things kind of go hand in hand. It's just a simple one, but it definitely just fits in with the Leeds theme. And then another similar sort of shirt, similar sort of obviously template being used there. I just feel like the black, white, and red color scheme work a little bit better than the Leeds one. Yeah, so that's just a smart shirt. Top 10 now, and it's Man City. Not used to being so far down the table, but this shirt's it's fine, it's smart. You don't have too many clubs wearing this particular shade of blue. I like the detailing again on the cuffs and the collar, and I've seen a few of these knocking around now. I'm starting to see Man City shirts around, and yeah, I think it's fine. Then we have Plymouth. Again, we don't have too many green shirts floating around, which makes sense considering they're playing on grass. But this one it's just well put together. It's just a nice Puma with sort of geometric patterns. Maybe in reality it might be a little bit simpler, but I just think it's just a smart one. 8th place we have Watford. Now this is a yellow shirt, beautiful. I love the sort of the black and the red alternating pinstripes, and I like how they sort of change in height and they run nicely across the line on the shoulder there. I like how the shoulder's actually free of it, and then we have sort of a, I don't know if you can tell, there's a sort of detailing inside the body of the shirt as well. I think that's a smart shirt. Carlisle United. This is almost like a retro throwback going on there. You've got the blue and the red and the white, and of course you've got the diamonds in there with the umbrella. You've got a bit of gold going on there. I think that's just a classy shirt. In 6th place, Coventry generally find themselves quite high up. Coventry and Hummel are a great partner, and I think they should always be together. And this one, you've got sort of this embossed detailing on the body of the shirt. It's clean. Again, the color isn't here too often. I think I quite like this shade of blue. I don't know why I like it over more so than some other colors, but yeah, it's. They do some good stuff. Top 5, we have Tranmere Rovers. I've already highlighted this shirt. I think it's beautiful. Mills manufactured. I just love the collar. I love the sort of inset here, and then the actual body and the detailing of the shirt. This is just a proper classy shirt, this is. 4th place. Who haven't we seen yet? Have I not seen your club? Where are they going to be? Who's going to be number 1? 4th place we have Millwall. Okay, a Raya shirt. Again, this is a cool shirt with sort of that diamond pattern running across the front, and they're intersected with sort of interesting horizontals at the bottom, and then we have this interesting another sort of a dashed pattern going across the collars and across the sleeves, and then also a solid line. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, but I like what they've done. Top 3. Port Vale Puma, and it's a centralized logo one. You probably wouldn't expect that necessarily in one of my videos, but I love how it's going put together, black and white, so simple. I love the pattern on the collar and on the cuffs. Maybe the best one so far in the Football League. That is just, I personally think that's a really smart shirt. Crystal Palace in 2nd place. I think it's just because this one may be just a bit too much to be top, and I mean, I must admit, ironically, I am filming this after we've just had Chelsea a draw with them in the Premier League, so maybe I want to push them a little bit further down. But to be honest, their shirt is really nice. Macron doing really good stuff there. Yeah. So, but who is one? Who is number 1? What is the club have we not mentioned, and who's the manufacturer going to be? Well, let's see. It's Blackburn Rovers, and it's Macron. Yes. This is just a beautiful shirt there. I mean, you've got your half and half, your white and your blue. You've got a detailing of the flower there. it's just lovely. It's just lovely, lovely. Whenever I think of Blackburn Rovers, I think of like that. To me, is like really original, classic football. This is like a classic shirt, and you know you can make this shirt look rubbish. Other manufacturers have done so, but Macron, they've made it look beautiful. And I think Blackburn again are one of the clubs who are being blessed with 3 really well put together shirts. So that's it. That's my top 92, I think it is in total. Again, are there any shirts that are going to be stand out in 25 years? Maybe not. Like the Blackburn shirt's beautiful, but is it going to be like a worldwide classic? No. And is there anything terrible apart from the sort of few that are just literally basic template shirts, which I mean they're fine, but there's nothing that I think someone's created and you've gone, that is horrific. So that's the 92. Home shirts are generally safe. It's when we go and look at the away and the third shirts where people start trying things, and that's where it can go really right or really wrong. So let me know, what do you think about the clubs that you support, if of course you do support any of those teams represented there, and do you think any of them were too high or too low on the list? Anyway, that's going to be it. Next video, I think, is going to be something pretty smart and something pretty special, but we'll see what it comes round to it. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a great week ahead, and thank you as always for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!